The observation pods hummed with constant activity as scientists of the Galactic Council monitored their latest and most dangerous experiment. 100 species, each considered an apex predator or elite survivor on their home worlds, had been deposited on planet designation 7749 Zambian Kwacha. Humans would later give it a simpler name, Hell's Kitchen. The planet was a nightmare by every known standard. Gravity was 3 times that of Earth. The atmosphere was thick with sulfuric compounds. Native predators could digest titanium. Weather systems shifted violently, transforming frozen tundra into volcanic hellscapes within hours. It was the perfect testing ground for the Council's ultimate question: which species truly deserved Tier 1 status in the intergalactic community? Among the contestants were the Vraxian hunters, 8-foot-tall crystalline warriors who had conquered 12 star systems. The Cauldron Swarm, a hive mind species capable of adapting to any environment within days. The Zephron, beings of pure energy who could phase through solid matter. And then, there was Finch. Finch was a human, 28 years old, a line cook from Detroit. He had been abducted while taking out the trash behind Marco's Italian kitchen. When the transport beam dropped him onto 7749 Zambian Kwacha, still wearing his grease-stained apron and non-slip kitchen shoes, his first words were, "You've got to be kidding me." The first week was chaos. Species attacked each other, claimed territory, and built fortresses. The Vraxians raised a crystalline citadel atop a mountain peak. The Cauldrons disappeared into volcanic caves, creating vast underground networks. 17 species were wiped out in the first 48 hours alone. Finch found a cave. Not an impressive one. Just a shallow indentation in a cliff face that kept the acid rain off his head. He spent 3 days crying. Then he got angry. Then, finally, he accepted his situation with the weary resignation of someone who had worked double shifts on Valentine's Day. But Finch had something none of the others did. He was hungry, and he knew how to cook. The planet's flora was bizarre. Phosphorescent mushrooms the size of umbrellas, crystalline fruits that hummed with energy, root vegetables that writhed like living snakes. The fauna was worse. 6-legged creatures whose meat smelled like rotting garbage. Flying serpents with venomous barbs. Crustacean monsters skittering across volcanic plains. Finch experimented. The glowing mushrooms, when boiled 3 times to remove toxins, tasted surprisingly rich. The crystalline fruits, once cracked open, revealed pulp that tasted like mango. The 6-legged creatures were awful, except for their organs, which, when cleaned and seasoned with volcanic salts, were tender and savory, like chicken liver. He built a fire pit, then a hearth. A flat stone became a griddle. Hollow shells became pots. Sharp rocks became knives. He tested water sources, purified them. He planted a garden in toxic soil, experimenting with what would grow. And then Frozen found him. Frozen was a Valyrian, an elegant, 4-armed species covered in iridescent scales that shifted color with emotion. She was a xenobiologist chosen for adaptability, not combat. She had spent 2 weeks hiding, slowly starving. The smell reached her first. Not sulfur. Not decay. Something good. She followed it to Finch's cave, now expanded into a proper shelter. He stood over a makeshift stove, something sizzling in a pan crafted from a crashed observation drone. "Is that food?" her translator asked, converting her whistling language. Finch barely looked up. After 2 months on a death world, a 4-armed alien didn't crack his top 10 weirdest experiences. "Yeah," he said. "You're hungry." That was how it started. Word spread fast. The human had food. Real food. Not survival paste or barely edible scraps. Meals that didn't actively try to kill you. The Vraxians came first. Proud, but desperate. Their crystalline bodies were cracking under the planet's conditions. Finch fed them mineral-rich stews served in bowls fired from volcanic clay. The Cauldrons came next, curious about the human who had done the impossible. Thrived. Finch fed them fermented root paste that nourished their entire hive from a single bowl. One by one they all came. Quarian nomads. The mechanical chorus. Even the Dreadclaw pack, terror of the first month, slunk into Finch's territory, drawn by the smell of roasted meat. Finch fed them all. In return they brought materials. Information. Protection. His cave became a restaurant. Finch's place, he called it, painting the name onto salvaged hull plating. Tables of volcanic stone. Chairs made from megafauna bones. A kitchen that would have made his old head chef cry. Frozen became his partner. using her scientific knowledge to unlock new ingredients. Together, they created a fusion menu spanning 100 worlds, Earth techniques combined with alien ingredients that should never have worked. But did. After 6 months, the Galactic Council ended the experiment. They expected to find a dominant species. Instead, they found a settlement. Dozens of species gathered together, eating, laughing, trading stories. At the center stood Finch, flipping food on his griddle, while Frozen took orders on a scavenged tablet. The lead scientist stared in disbelief. This was meant to determine the strongest species. The human ambassador smiled. It did. You just misunderstood what strength means. 73 species survived. The highest survival rate in Council history. Every single one credited the same reason. The human who didn't conquer the planet. He just fed them. Best restaurant in the galaxy. The Vraxian commander later told the Council. 5 stars. Would die on a death world again. Finch and Frozen were granted immediate Tier 1 citizenship. Finch accepted on one condition. He wanted to open a real restaurant. 6 months later, Finch's fusion opened on the Galactic Capital Station. Frozen ran the front of house. Finch commanded the kitchen. The line stretched 3 levels. Planet 7749 Zambian Kwacha was reclassified. Not as a death world, but as a training ground for chefs. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.